Okay, now let's welcome to the floor our moderator, the Deputy Secretary General of the CCYC,
Please welcome our host,
Liang.
Mr. Xu Liang, Deputy Secretary General of the China Chamber of International Commerce, to the stage.
Distinguished leaders, entrepreneurs, good morning. Welcome to attend the thematic event on clean energy, developing clean energy and promote low green and low carbon transformation of the economy and society is an important task to address climate change, ensuring energy security and promote sustainable development. The CSCE has an exhibition booth for clean energy, showing the whole life cycle industrial chain of clean energy. We hope that through today's event, we can discuss with you the clean energy, new technologies, new products, new trends. First, let's welcome the Vice Chairman of CCPIT and CCYC, Mr. Yu Jianlong, to deliver some opening remarks. Welcome. Respected guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. It's my great pleasure to gather with you in Beijing to attend the second thematic event on clean energy, focusing on energy transition for zero carbon prosperity. On behalf of CCPIT, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our guests from home and abroad, and also to those who have always supported the CCPIT and the preparation of CSCE. I would like to also express our heartfelt gratitude. President Xi Jinping attached great importance to the global supply chain, industrial chain stability, and has emphasized for many times that China will maintain and safeguard the international supply chain and industrial chain stability and security with its own actions. On October 15th, President Xi Jinping at the APEC Business Leaders Summit delivered a speech, once again calling different countries to promote building an open world economy, maintaining the world industrial chain and supply chain stability and smoothness. 2 days ago and also yesterday, Premier Li Qiang, Vice Chairman Han Zheng communicated and discussed with representatives of the CSCE, attended the opening ceremony and delivered opening speeches. They emphasized China's commitment to promoting high quality and opening up, sending a signal to strengthen cooperation on supply chain and industrial chain, and building a world open economy. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, facing with the climate change, the worsening climate change, low carbon, zero carbon are the key, are the core of the new round of energy revolution. Clean energy as an important driver for an energy transition and coping with climate change is showing unprecedented development dynamic and potential. According to the NEA's estimation, by 2030, solar PV will become the mainstream new energy and promoting about 80% of clean energy growth. The traditional kind of energy technology equipment will undergo revolutionary changes. Industrial chain supply chain decarbonization will become the direction for future development. China is the world's largest clean energy market and equipment manufacturing country. In recent years, China's clean energy has realized leap-bound development. By the end of 2023, wind PV installed capacity compared with 10 years ago has increased by 10 times. Clean energy installed capacity accounts for 58% of the total installed capacity, and the newly added new energy power generation occupies more than half of the incremental electricity consumption. We're also engaging in international exchanges to steadily promote Green Belt and Road. With more than 100 countries and regions, we have conducted green energy cooperation projects. PV components production for 16 years ranked #1 in the world, providing 70% of the PV components to the world and 60% of wind equipment, becoming an important force in stabilizing the industrial chain and supply chain of the clean energy sector in the world. And this CISCE has set up an exhibition booth for clean energy, and we have the energy source, and grid energy storage, 3 different sections at this exhibition, demonstrating the supply to consumption, the whole life cycle industrial chain of clean energy, attracting companies attracting the top oil and petroleum enterprises from home and abroad attending. I also welcome all of you to visit our booth. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, China, in order to build a high-quality economic and social system and expanding high-quality opening up, we have made systematic arrangements. This will provide enterprises with a more spacious market and bring more opportunities for cooperation and win-win. CGTN is China's largest national trade facilitation and investment facilitation agency. In the future, we'll continue to further expanding our friends of circle and build a platform for high-quality cooperation and communication, and providing a platform for enterprises to deepen their cooperation and providing our all-round services. I hope that you can make full use of this platform of CISCE to deeply conduct supply chain cooperation and promote the building of a global clean energy cooperation partnership and contribute for world. Lastly, I wish this conference a complete success, and wish all of you all the best in your health and in your life. Thank you very much. Vice Chairman Yu. Next, I would like to give the floor to the Chief Economist of the National Energy Administration, Mr. Li Junli. Welcome. Distinguished Vice Chairman Yu and President Peter Baker, dear guests, friends, good morning. It's my great pleasure to be invited to attend the second China International Supply Chain Expo, thematic event on clean energy, to discuss the issues of energy security and energy transition. First of all, on behalf of the NEA, I would like to extend a warm congratulations on the successful convening of this CISCE, and also for those who have always cared about and supported China's energy sector. I would like to extend our gratitude. So the thematic event on clean energy focuses on promoting an energy transition for zero carbon prosperity against the background of energy mix restructuring. I think this theme is very relevant. For a very long time, fossil fuels supported the development of industrial civilization. At the same time, energy security, climate change, and other global challenges continuing to worsen. With the official implementation of the Paris Agreement, we have more than 140 countries and regions proposing the carbon neutrality goals to promote energy and green and low-carbon transition and build an affordable, reliable, sustainable, modern, clean energy system. This has become international consensus and common action of different countries. In 2014, President Xi Jinping creatively proposed the 4 revolutions and 1 cooperation, the new clean energy security strategy. For the past 10 years, we have implemented this concept and promoted the high quality of energy sector and anchor towards energy security, green and low-carbon transition to greatly promote the policy and institutional innovation in the energy sector. We will also want to accelerate the change in the production and consumption of energy and has realized the stable supply of clean energy and green and low-carbon transition of energy. Clean energy's development has now entered the fast track. By the end of September, the PV and solar installed capacity has reached 1.2 billion kilowatt-hour, completing the goal originally set by 2030, the goal to exceed the 1.2 billion kilowatt-hour of installed capacity, and renewable energy's installed capacity also occupies 54.7% of the overall installed capacity. The clean and efficient utilization of energy has also achieved new success. The coal consumption reduced by 12% and eliminated more than 100 million kilowatt-hour of outdated capacity. New energy power generation has maintained 95% of high-level utilization rate. In the first 3 quarters of this year, the renewable energy power generation has reached 250 million kilowatt-hour, accounting for 35% of the total, more than 1/3. And energy technology is also witnessing some breakthroughs. We have built a whole industrial chain R&D system, and we have mastered the 3rd-generation high-temperature and also the 4th-generation nuclear technology. The hydropower industrial system is also leading the world now. For the global green development, we're also making new contributions. China continues to expand our cooperation and opening up with more than 100 countries and regions. We have conducted cooperation projects on green energy, contributing more than 80% of PV components to the world and more than 70% of PV equipment, wind equipment.
Wind power exported has been helping other countries to reduce carbon emission and totaled 810 million. We have been making contribution to sustainable development as well as a leader in this cause. In the meantime, the international context is complicated. Protectionism is rising. In order to ensure the sustainable supply chain, it is rather difficult. Faced with such challenges and new changes, we should remain an open mind. And while maintaining open and cooperation, we should ensure energy security and pursue energy transition. Here is my suggestions. First, while ensuring energy security and energy production security, we should establish a clean and sustainable energy system. It is a rather important path for our goal. As energy transition continues, non-fossil fuel production is increasing, but energy transition should be based on accessibility to energy resources, based on our endowment and resources and first establish new pathways while making breakthroughs in order to ensure that we have supply and diverse guarantee system for more diverse energy sources. Second, we should focus on new quality development, productivity of energy. We are faced with in-depth changes of energy transition. A new round of industrial transformation and technology advancement are complementing the changes. New models of businesses and new industries are rising. Gathering new momentum, we should seize the opportunity, make new investment, so that we could commercialize, industrialize those innovations. And we should cultivate new momentum so that we could smoothly transit to new momentum. Third, we should focus on the cooperation and open of international energy market. It's difficult to make a change on your own, but with a consensus endeavor, it's easy to make a change. We should together create an open, equal, and inclusive international market, attract all efforts from all parties to engage in this course for technological flow and non-discriminative monetary and technological exchanges. We should establish a mutually beneficial, inclusive, and equal energy market and unleash the momentum and potential of energy market. Fourth, we should improved energy governance ability across the world so that we could establish an inclusive and share a fair market for energy. This is a guarantee for energy transition. We oppose any kind of unilateralism or high fences and small yacht and decouple. We should promote cooperation and coordinated efforts. Together we could search for new paths for energy transition and promote energy governance to a more just and reasonable vision to purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, energy transition is a systematic and social change, and it's a long-term strategic mission which requires our joint efforts. Today, we gather the wise mind and experts here, and we expect to hear in-depth sharing from you and make our contribution to the clean energy transition and energy security. Last but not least, I wish this forum a great success and wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you, Chief Economist Mr. Lu Jinling. Now let's welcome Mr. Peter Becker, the President of the World Business Council for Sustainable Development.
Good morning, distinguished Mr. Yu Yonglong, Mr. Ren. Thank you very much for the introductions, and even more so, thank you very much for putting green energy system so prominently on the agenda of this beautiful supply chain expo. It says behind me, transition for zero carbon prosperity. Let me tell you, as coming from the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, the only prosperity going forward is a zero carbon prosperity. We need to decarbonize the global supply chains. And that's why it's so important that at the Supply Chain Expo here in China, we talk about the green energy transition. 1.5 degrees warming is not a target. it is a limit. Physical risks in supply chains are becoming ever more clear as floods, droughts, fires ravage the world and causing more damage wherever we go, leading to massive disruptions in supply chains going forward. So what do we need to do? Two things. First, we need massive innovation. Second, we need accountability. I, in my role at leading the World Business Council, was made famous by saying accountants will save the world. These days I actually say accountants will save the world, but China will drive them to do it. So what do we need to do? How do we change? 3 steps that were mentioned by the previous speakers as well. We need to maximize energy efficiency. Second, we need to grow renewable energy. And thirdly, we need massive electrification. And China is making big strides in all those areas. The dual carbon strategy and targets that China has set and that the world is hoping you will outperform is driving enormous change. I just came out of Baku for COP29 and I was in the China pavilion in many occasions, where Chinese businesses and government is now clearly showing the way. For 7 consecutive years, China has been leading the world in the deployment of renewable energy. Electric vehicle penetration in China is higher than in any other market in the world. And the rollout of a network with more than 30,000 kilometers of ultra-high voltage transmission lines is unprecedented. Not only do these investments and achievements decarbonize the Chinese energy system, they also create a very strong competitive advantage for Chinese businesses, whether it is in solar, in wind, in batteries, in electric vehicles. I think the next big stop that we all need to now pay attention to is the decarbonization of the industrial complex. Energy efficiency, renewable supply chains, as I said, will become the competitive advantage. And by really managing that well, China will be positioned to manage and steer through the developments of CBAM and other trade applications that we will see grow. And COP30 next year, my prediction is CBAM will become a much bigger part of global supply chain management. As I mentioned in Baku, Chinese companies clearly taking the lead. I was in a session where Sinopec was presenting its plans around green hydrogen. Again, a push for Chinese competitive advantage being rolled out. And the application of that technology, the green hydrogen, is already making the point. Baowu Steel here in China is now producing steel at 80% lower CO2 emission rates than anywhere else in the world. And again, solutions are available. We now need to work to make sure that the demand for those solutions is also available. And so from that point of view, we in WBCSD have launched CDDA, the Center for Decarbonization Demand Acceleration, where we will be bringing companies from all around the world together to create demand for green energy solutions. I mentioned innovation. The second thing is accountability. Business must account for its emissions. We need a carbon accounting system that is harmonized across the world. The Greenhouse Gas Protocol is such a system. China is developing its carbon accounting system, and we need to make sure that these two are aligned and harmonized. But in a supply chain expo, I would be having an omission if I didn't talk about Scope 3 accounting. 75% of all emissions in the world are in supply chains. Scope 3 accounting has now been solved. PACT is the answer. It's being built in supply chain software as we speak and available to you all. In very simple terms, we need two things: a massive innovation in the energy system, and I really look forward to listen to the distinguished leaders from across the energy system this morning, and we need to manage carbon the way we manage money. I was very inspired by the words of Vice Chairman Yu, when at the end of his speech he not only wished this meeting well, he wished all of you a happy life as well, so have a happy life. Thank you for coming.
谢谢贝德凯会长。
Thank you.
推动清洁能源转型
President
和
Backer,
可持续发展
Clean
需要
energy
广泛凝聚
transition
共
and
识，
sustainable
汇聚各方
development
力量。
should gather our
第二届
consensus
中国国际
and
供应链
efforts.
促进博览会，清洁能源链
The
多家参展
second
企业共同发起
CISCE
共汇能源低碳
has
转型
gathered
画卷，
consensus from
链博
multiple
会清洁能源
enterprises
链
and
参展企
launched
业联
our
合倡议，
initiative.
充分发挥
And
行
this
业引领作用
initiative，will
助
play
力
its
清洁
role
能
in
源产业
leading
高质量发展。
consensus
下面
and to
请
promote
中国石油天然
clean
气集团
energy
有限公司总经理
transition. Now, I'd
侯
like
启军先生
to
代表
welcome
清洁
Mr.
能源链企业
侯启军
发布联合倡议，
from
大家欢迎。
PetroChina to read the initiative.
下面我发布联合
Now,
倡议
I will announce the joint
共汇
initiative.
能源低碳转型新画卷
We should gather
第二
our
届
efforts
中国国
for a
际
new
供应链促进博览
pattern
会
of
清洁能源链
energy, low
参
carbon
展
energy
企业
transition.
联合倡议。
This is a joint
中国北京
initiative
2024
in Beijing,
年
2024,
27
November the 27th. Amid the pressing ecological environment challenges facing our world today, the excessive development and utilization of traditional energy have given rise to a host of issues. Energy companies are critical forces in energy supply, bearing the significant responsibility of driving low-carbon transition. As a result, global leading energy companies have come together to launch initiative for the low-carbon transition. In order to support carbon peaking, carbon neutrality, and man-nature harmony, we launched the initiative. First, actively embrace clean energy. Renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power hold immense potential. They not only significantly reduce the greenhouse effect from traditional energy consumption, but also offer sustainable development opportunities for business.
By investing in and developing low-carbon energy projects, boosting R&D investment in the clean energy sector, speeding up the development of a new energy system, and improving energy production efficiency, companies can strengthen their core competitiveness and seize the first-mover advantage in the first energy market. Second, improve energy utilization efficiency and to be the pioneer of green and low-carbon technology. Through the adoption of advanced technologies and equipment, optimization of product processes, and reduction in energy losses during transmission and utilization, we should also make use of some digital technologies like AI to make breakthroughs and share the results so as to create the new productivity, quality productivity in the energy sector. 3, develop a concept of sustainable development. We need to be the advocate of green and low-carbon products and promote the low-carbon lifestyle and consumption. We also need to fully actively participate in the carbon footprint rulemaking and label recognition, and strengthen the environmental education for employees, foster a corporate culture of sustainable development, and empower every employee to be a promoter of the low-carbon transition. Fourth, foster collaboration and sharing. To be a builder of the clean energy system, we need to give full play to our advantages, deepen the whole industrial chain connectivity, and increase the resilience and security of the international energy industrial chain. We also need to give full play to the roles of some organizations in the oil and gas sector, such as OGCI and GMI, to deepen our cooperation in environmental protection and climate governance. We also need to implement the partner communication mechanism to fulfill our responsibilities. Let's join hands together and with firm determination and concrete actions, drive the low-carbon transition in energy companies, working towards a brighter future for our planet. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ho. Also, warm congratulations on the successful launching of the joint initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, President Xi Jinping pointed out that energy security is key to the economic and social development. Promoting new energy has become an important task to cope with climate change. China's energy leading companies are also playing an important role in the restructuring of the energy mix and contributing to solving the energy issues. We are contributing our Chinese plan, Chinese wisdom, to realize win-win cooperation. Today, we have opportunity to listen to the remarks of several important entrepreneurs in this sector. Now let's move on to the next session. Let's welcome to the stage again Mr. Hou Qijun, General Manager of the China National Petroleum Corporation, to make a presentation. Welcome. Distinguished leaders, guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. At the second China International Supply Chain Expo, it's my great pleasure to gather with you in Beijing to discuss the opportunities of development and the future of energy transition. First, on behalf of the China National Petroleum Corporation, I would like to extend our gratitude to all of you for your support and care. CISCE is the world's first national level expo focusing on supply chain and has provided an important platform for supply chain cooperation. In the past year, our company with the global partners has increased our connectivity through supply chain, and surrounding different topics, we have reached consensus, deepen our pragmatic cooperation, strengthening our supply chain and consolidating our supply chain. We're also promoting industrial transformation, and our company is one of the world's largest petroleum and chemical company. For many years, we have adhered to green development to provide value for our clients and empower the pursuit of happiness of the people. We have fully participated in promoting new energy system building and steadfastly transition to a comprehensive energy solution provider And now we're developing both fossil fuels and new energy business. For the global energy supply chain stability, we have made positive contributions. We're dedicated to improving the resilience and security of the supply chain and also the efficient supply capacity. We're also increasing the exploitation of oil and petroleum, optimizing the structure. The natural gas production has surpassed that of the crude oil. China's natural gas has realized the 300 million goals, and our international trading capacity has also exceeded 500 million every year. Green and low carbon transition of our company has achieved quite clear success, and we have made it our corporate strategy to correspond to China's carbon neutrality goal. We're also promoting clean alternative energy and a green transition to accelerate the development of new energy business. This year, new energy capacity of our company was expected to reach 14 million tons of oil equivalent, and which means we will realize our goal in advance. For 13 years, we have been rated as a low carbon model in China. Our innovation capability also increased, especially in the new energy sector. And for the refinery of new materials, we have made key breakthroughs in these technologies. We also have joined a working group on CCUS, and some new equipment, new techniques with our own IPR has been applied, and our scientific and technological achievement is leading the industry's development. The China National Petroleum Corporation is ranked as the top 50 most innovative company in the world. We are continuing to increase in the influence of our brand. Now, in more than 120 countries and regions, we're doing trade and engineering projects in more than 30 countries. We're investing in more than 90 cooperation projects. We have built Asia, Europe, and America's 3 operation centers connecting China and abroad, connecting the supply chain and the markets of different regions, contributing to the stability and the smoothness of the global supply chain. So in the World Brand Lab's list of the top brands, we are ranking among the top. Ladies and gentlemen, now the changes is accelerating fast, and economic recovery is facing more and more challenges, and the energy revolution is also faced with many changes, which is posing a great impact on the stability of the energy mix. President Xi Jinping has emphasized the importance of the stability of the supply chain to promote green and low carbon transition. He has proposed a series of new propositions and new proposals and new initiatives. This event, the theme of this event is advancing the energy transition for zero carbon prosperity, and it has provided an important bridge and platform for international cooperation. We're willing to join hands with all of you, taking this advantage of CISCE to share the dividends of an opportunity of development and cope with the challenges together and promote the supply chain and industrial chain's resilience and efficiency as well as dynamic, so as to join hands to enter the green and sustainable energy future. Let's expand our cooperation scale to safeguard the international energy security, give full play to our advantages, and deepen our whole industrial chain cooperation, continue to promote oil and gas resources utilization, and maintain the infrastructure and the international pipeline operation safety, and break down the barriers of trade, further expand the trade scale, and work together to increase the resilience and the security of the supply. Let's accelerate the energy transition to promote green and low-carbon development and give full play to the industrial organizations' roles to focus on green energy, green pipeline, green industry, and accelerate the development of wind, PV, hydro, hydrogen, and other clean energy, and try our best to be the advocate and pioneer and leader of energy transition. Let's also strengthen technological exchange and innovation and improve the efficiency of energy supply. We also need to strengthen our cooperation in the technology. We need to do more joint R&D and share the achievements of the R&D. We also need to join hands to build the new quality productivity in the energy sector and contribute to building a green and low-carbon energy future. Let's also deepen our interconnectivity and mutual help to expand our cooperation scope. We also need to innovate the cooperation mechanism by making full use of the digital technologies to expand the friend circle of our industry, extend the network, so that the supply chain can really become a win-win chain of our industry. Lastly, I wish the second CSCE, especially the thematic event on clean energy, a complete success, and I wish you smooth sailing in your life. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Hou Qijun. Next, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Zhang Yanjun, General Manager of Dongfang Electric Corporation. Distinguished leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, on behalf of the Dongfang Electric Corporation, I would like to extend a warm gratitude for your long-term support and care for our group. Dongfang Electric Corporation is promoting the high-quality development and intelligent development of the equipment. We're also focusing on hydro, wind, PV, storage, CCUS, and other high-end energy equipment and technology, contributing to the global new energy transition. Next, I would like to report to you three practices. First is to create green and low-carbon new equipment. We have always adhered to scientific innovation. We join hands with the partners along the industrial chain to make breakthroughs in some core technologies and promote green and low-carbon energy equipment and technology integration. Through our relentless efforts in recent years, we have achieved many scientific and technological achievements. The megawatt hydro power unit is now put into operation. 500 megawatt hydro power unit was developed and successfully accepted. And we also participated in the offshore wind equipment and facility. We have won the National Technology Progress Prize. And the 26 megawatt offshore wind unit is now rolled offline. The F-level heavy-duty turbine equipment has also passed the verification, and we have successfully ignited the new turbine. And the ultra critical coal unit is about to be finished, and we're also about to build the demonstration project for multi-scenario hydrogen power application. And we have also break the record in terms of the efficiency of power generation. We also join hands with our domestic and international partners to build the 5 megawatt chemical chain burning platform to popularize the experiment of coal.
部件数字化转型链
Second, we established a digitalization transition chain.
东方电气集团
We have been given great importance to digitalization and the integration with equipment in order to establish a low-carbon green model and to facilitate green production and sustainable development.
从制造端看，
From the production end, 80% of our core manufacturing facilities are digitalized.
两家智能制造
Two smart manufacturing companies. Two companies are at level 4 of smart manufacturing, and we have established 2 smart manufacturing facilities and a
国内首个燃机叶片加工无人车间，
unmanned
首条黑能产线及锅炉水冷力数字化
production line, as well as a digitalized dark
装备产出
assembly line,
并通过输出
which
装备
improved the efficiency.
标准，
We also exported our standard and technologies,
实现
which
产业
helps
链
empower
供应链高效
the
协
supply
同
chain
整体提升。
so that the core supply chain and the manufacturing chain are coordinately developing. We aim to provide green, low-carbon, intelligent, and zero-carbon technology exploration and facilitate digitalization and intelligent technology. We have launched a digital detection diagnosis system, as well as for wind and hydropower generation, and a intelligent
光热发电智能控制系统
remote monitoring system
通过大数据
and thermal power detection
AI 的技
problem.
术赋能，
Along with AI, 5G, we are able to improve the efficiency and reduce cost of power station and make it more reliable. For energy generator, we created new values. Third, we aim to promote international cooperation and technological export. We remain open and mutually beneficial principles. We have led
为共建“一带一路”
13,000 suppliers to go global.
加强全球资
We
源配
focus on localization
海外产业
as
链
well as overseas
与近800家
integration of supply chain, and we deepen cooperation with international providers in order to create green cooperation and share benefits with our partners.
110个国家
Totally,
和
we
地区
have
提供能源
provided
装备
energy equipment to 116 countries and regions, with the supply of 100 million megawatt
在亚洲
and 160 oil equipment. We have invested in the first phase of Namanhe hydropower station in the Laos, which was recognized at the national level, as well as the Alamutu second hydropower electricity generator in Kazakhstan, which helps to facilitate Kazakhstan in energy efficiency and energy cost reduction. In Tanzania, we exported the biggest export project, which will be able to turn the generation of 1.4 times as before. In Europe, the new project in Bosnia and Herzegovina will help Bosnia and Herzegovina to increase its energy generation capacity in the future. We work with our partners and explore new pathways with the support of green, high-quality equipment so that we could establish a green low-cost system and make our contribution to energy transition. Last but not least, I wish this forum a great success. Thank you very much, General Manager Zhang Yanjun. Now I give the floor to the Chairman of China Energy Conservation and Environmental Protection Group. Let's welcome Mr. Song Xi.
中间的各位领导、各
Dear
位嘉宾，
leaders,
大家上午
ladies
好
and。gentlemen, good morning.
非常高兴和大家
It's
欢
my
愉
great pleasure to be
共话
here
能源转
and
型，
to share our
共
views
谋
on
双碳
energy transition and for zero carbon
共享发展
prosperity
机遇。
and dual carbon
首
goals.
先，我代
First
表
of all,
中国节能
on behalf
环保
of
集团有限公司对此次活动
our
的成功
company,
举办表示热烈祝贺。
China Energy Conservation and Environmental Protection Group, I extend my congratulations to the successful holding of this forum and gratitude for your support. In the recent years, we are on the faster track of energy transaction. Wind and solar power, new energy storage equipment are developing, making contribution to socio-economic development. Now, regarding today's theme, advancing the energy transition for zero carbon prosperity based on our practice, I would like to share my thoughts and experiences. First, we should be committed to our vision and mission to support socio-economic development. As China's leader, one of China's leaders in clean energy, we implement President Xi's lucid water and the Green Mountain theory and development guidelines. We continue to provide our contribution in clean energy development. After 4 decades of development, we have established a system with environmental protection and circulation of energy, as well as environmental protection and clean energy development, as well as chemical agents and health-related products business. We have become a large-scale and specialized with wide portfolio company and strong capacity. So far, our green generation capacity reached 2,500 megawatts. We're able to process 10 million metric tons of water. During the 14th five-year plan, we have generated 11 million power per hour, and which is in the leading position. We have processed 10 billion wastewater, and the COD has consumed of 1.9 million metric tons and reduced equivalent to 1.7 million metric tons of carbon dioxide. We are playing our role as a state-owned company and lending impetus to the dual carbon goals. We respond to the carbon peaking, carbon neutrality goal. We have formulated and announced action plan on dual carbon goals. We established a 1+1+3 dual carbon strategy. We have developed the first internet-based carbon credit system. We have accomplished the first blockchain-based carbon credit authentication. Along with the SSX and the People's Bank of China, we conducted research and engaged in standard making and surveyed over 30 million metric tons of carbon dioxide. In Hong Kong, we provided ESG report for 150 overseas listed companies. We have been the organizer of the China Pavilion of UNFCCC, and in order to implement dual carbon implementation, we actively provide support for our climate action and control, make our contribution to the temperature control of our goal. Third, we deepen cooperation. We will uphold our goal of going out and bringing in, play our strengths in energy conservation and protection, and share benefit with our partners. We will actively serve China's major strategy, play our role with our comparative advantages in Xiong'an New Area, Yangtze River region, as well as Greater Bay Area. We implemented our innovative environmental models and built more demonstration projects. Second, we will innovate our business models for new energy, taking new environmental energy investment as a leverage to boost the new model implementation and explore new markets of application to facilitate high-quality development in new energy. Third, we will look into overseas market to serve Belt and Road Initiative, strengthen photovoltaic market in Central Asia, as well as in Australia, and speed up our going abroad practice. We will also implement the low-carbon practice and provide more personalized, individualized services, strengthen an environmental restoration program to provide whole life cycle services, as well as big data support and all natural resources holistic solution. We will work along with all parties to explore low-carbon, green business models. Dear leaders, ladies and gentlemen, energy transition is a great change and a historic opportunity and responsibility. We will play our role as a leader, as a state-owned company, along with partners from home and abroad. We will leverage our advantage in clean energy to support energy transition, provide strong support for supply chain for a bright future and share the benefit and make Chinese contribution. Last but not least, I wish this forum a great success, and I wish you good luck in a happy, low-carbon life. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairman Song Xin. General Manager Hou Qijun and Zhang Yanjun and Mr. Song Xin all shared their thematic speech with visionary views. From their speech, we hear that China's energy companies are making their efforts and making their new thoughts and practices in energy transition. And their speech are inspiring for the energy development as well as international cooperation. Let's give them a warm round of applause for their sharing. Let's move into the next session, which is thematic sharing. Let's welcome moderator Mr. Xia Cheng from CGTN. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yesterday we had the first snow in Beijing this year. I think it's a very good sign. While everybody, many people worrying about climate change, we think such snow would be quite rare in the future, but we don't want that to happen. We hope that our future would be more sustainable and low carbon, and our future generations can also enjoy the beauties of 4 seasons. This is also why we're gathered here, to talk about the green and low carbon energy. So next, please allow me to introduce to you the panelists. They are the Vice General Manager of the China Petroleum and Chemical Corporation, Mr. Li Yongling, Vice General Manager of China National Offshore Oil Corporation, Wang Jianbo, Vice General Manager of State Grid Corporation of China, Ji Mingbin, Vice General Manager of CGTN Energy Investment Group, Dr. Yang Hong, Vice General Manager of China Resources Group, Han Song. Welcome to the stage. Thank you. Thank you all for taking time of your busy schedule to attend this panel discussion. You're all from leading oil energy companies. I am wondering about the new trends in this sector, and new energy is a now integral part of this industry, and it concerns the national energy security. We see that energy enterprises, especially SOE, is heavily developing new energy to improve the modern energy governance system. So first, I would like to ask you to share with us what is your company doing right now, and are there any news that you would like to share with us? Let's first give the floor to Mr. Li from Sinopec. Good morning, everyone. Sinopec is the world's first oil refinery, the second largest petrochemical company. In terms of carbon reduction, we shoulder great responsibility. We have formulated carbon peaking and neutrality plans for our company, and now we're in the process of implementing that plan. We need to ensure energy security, but on the other hand, we also want to achieve green and low carbon development. Now we are focusing on the following work. First, large scale. First, in terms of natural gas, we think natural gas is also clean energy. So the exploitation and development of natural gas has been our focus in the past decade. The production of natural gas increased by 10 times. Hydrogen energy, as you all know that we have a 20,000-ton green power-based hydrogen manufacturing equipment, and this equipment was put into operation last year. Our goal is to build ourselves into the largest hydrogen company in China. So our hydrogen strategy is focusing. We know that refinery and petrochemical all need green hydrogen, and also transportation requires hydrogen. Green hydrogen transportation is the trend. This is also the focus of our development. We have also built 11 high purity hydrogen supply center. We have built 138 hydrogen refueling stations. It's quite rare for a company to have so many hydrogen refueling stations. Actually, we have the largest number of hydrogen refueling stations in the world, and they have been put into operation already. So these are our efforts in the hydrogen sector. It's also a focus of our work. In addition, in terms of green energy, like thermal energy, now we have supplied heat to more than 100 million square meters of area with thermal power. That's the largest heat supply area with thermal energy in the world. And in terms of new energy, we also attach great importance to international cooperation. For example, with the U.S. Comfy, ExxonMobil, and other oil and petrol and gas companies from the Middle East, LNG companies, we have conducted many. We have invited them to China. We also visited them abroad. Also in thermal energy, geothermal energy, we cooperate with Iceland. We have founded a joint venture in China to develop geothermal energy. We also plan to go to the Middle East to develop their geothermal energy there. We have also established an international CCUS association. Also, the International Hydrogen Fuel Cell Association. We're leading the establishment and development of those associations. Okay, to summarize your speech, hydrogen, geothermal, Middle East, and Iceland. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Wang from CNUC. Good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to be invited to attend the thematic event on clean energy of the CSCE to discuss with you the sustainable development of energy. In 2022, the State Council, the CPC Central Committee proposed the idea of building new energy system, and in recent years, CNUC has been devoted to oil and gas supply, S&T innovation, clean and efficient development. We have a few cases and practices to share with you. First, in recent years, we have been consolidating the foundation for the energy sector. We would like to shoulder that responsibility. By the end of last year, we have continuously become China's a leader in the energy, incremental energy in China. We contribute more than 60%. Second, we adhere to S&T innovation. S&T innovation is a pillar, is a catalyst for the steady and transition of a traditional energy company. Also, in recent years, in the upstream of the supply chain, this year we won the 2023 China National Technology Progress Award with our Deep Sea #1 project. It's a high-end equipment S&T project. In the downstream, we are focused on our own resources endowment, including the catalyst and other chemical products to promote the high-end development of our products and the technological innovation. Thirdly, we put ecology first. We integrate the development of traditional energy and new energy. As China's first pioneer in the LNG sector, one of the pioneers, now CNUC has grown to be China's largest and the world's second largest LNG importer. While developing the LNG industry, this traditional industry, we're also developing offshore wind, green fuel, charging and battery replacement. We're integrating them into our business structure as well, so that we can develop both traditional and new energy business. Lastly, I would like to report to you that I would like to share with you our practice in international communication exchange. In recent years, with more than 40 countries and regions, we have conducted cooperation in the energy sector. We are adhering to the principle that that we strive to be the energy security pillar and pioneer of S&T innovation and demonstrator of low-carbon transition. We're willing to join hands with partners along the supply chain to make more progress in the future. Thank you, Mr. Wang. To summarize your speech, energy security, S&T innovation, and integration of traditional and new energy. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Ji to make some remarks. Thank you. Good morning. It's my great pleasure to come here on behalf of the State Grid. State Grid, as the world's largest utility company, focusing on the new grid building and the stability of the power supply and green and low-carbon transition, we have done the following 3 work. First, we're promoting the energy's green and low-carbon transition. We think that's an important link to realize the dual carbon goals. First, we need to build a stable, large-scale state grid, especially the ultra-high voltage grid. Now we have a realized cross-province, cross-regional 340 million kilowatt-hour electricity transmission capacity. So that really came handy when we coped with the extreme heat during the summer in East China and the southwestern part of China. Now we have 37 ultra-high voltage transmission lines, the longest one exceeding more than 3,000 kilometers. And we also have kept the longest secure and safe operation time. This strategy is to serve the integration of new energy into the grid and high proportion consumption in the first 3 quarters of this year. The new energy installed capacity in the grid has reached 1 billion kilowatt-hour power generation, more than 110 million kilowatt-hour. That takes up more than 20% of the overall power generation capacity, which is a record high, and the consumption rate has reached 96%, so quite stable consumption rate. I think that's a quite impressive achievement. Second, the state grid is also building the green modern supply chain. We want to use the supply chain to guide the upstream and downstream enterprises' innovative and low green transition. We have many done to work. First, among the SOEs, we were the first to publish the green product purchasing catalog or list, and also the scientifically innovative product procurement list. We're trying to procure products, the greener and products with higher science innovation content. Second,
we established 1,270 systems to support low-carbon green transition. That's the second point. Third is we strengthen international cooperation. The national grid actively participated in international cooperation. to promote our culture, corporate culture, and export our corporate culture and standard and practice in order to serve Belt and Road Initiative in 10 countries and regions. We have established a 13-grid system, including in Brazil the ultra-high voltage, which connects the green electricity from Amazon rainforest through our ultra-high voltage system to Rio de Janeiro. And the first phase has been concluded. If the result is quite welcomed and appreciated by the government, because we used the most advanced technologies in the world. Due to the success of the Phase 1 and Phase 2, Phase 3 has been given to us. We will carry it out gradually. In Pakistan, the direct voltage system has also been, the DC system has also been recognized by the government. We also participate in the standard making of 127 standards. We also led the establishment of IEC committee, making us stronger in the influence in this system. We established 10 electricity transition, power transmission and transformation system with neighboring countries. Thank you. Thank you for sharing from the upstream, lower stream coordinated development as well as international standards making perspective. Now I give the floor to Professor Yang from China Energy Investment Corporation. China Energy Investment Corporation is a key state-owned company. We focus on the holistic industry, including coal and transportation and modern technology and new energy and innovation. We have made some outcomes and success. I first give you an introduction. We aim to serve China's strategic development while ensuring energy security through upgrade of traditional industry and development of strategic industry. We aim to promote energy transition and green development of the industry. We have established a new pathway with Chinese characteristics. First, we speed up high-quality development of thermal as well as tidal energy. In the recent 2 years, new energy installation has reached 53 megawatts. We accomplished the 14th five-year plan 1 year ahead of the scheduled time. We also established the China Hydropower Battery Association and established the first in China that hydrogen station at the international level. In addition, we are rolling out projects in Erdos and Ningxia, such an energy triangle to establish GCUS system. In the meantime, we speed up innovative and intelligent product. We speed up coal safety and intelligent and green transition. We have established 34 green coal mine, intelligent mine, and 9 demonstration mine. And the green mining base. We also upgrade the coal unit upgrade. The super ultra critical installation is 60%. We have been on the leading position for many years. In Erdos and in Ningxia, our projects have made many #1 in the world. We have established the first zero-emission garden-like port. We have rolled out the first green methanol-driven vessel. We also established a 100% green energy-powered industry system. In terms of resources exploration and green international trade and technological transition, we all explore international cooperation and engage in international Belt and Road on the basis of a joint consultation for shared benefit. We also uphold ESG responsibility to ensure our project will best benefit people. In 14 countries, we established 10 countries. We established 14 projects, including one in South Africa, which has been deemed as a demonstration project for BRICS countries. We also explore high value-added chemical industry product and environment protection technologies with a value generated at $20 billion every year. In Europe, we work with international corporations and in energy, in areas such as AI and hydrogen and energy storage to support practice of new energy. And thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yang, and thank you very much for the Energy Investment Corporation for your contribution. Now, let's give the floor to the Vice General Manager of China Resources Group. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a great pleasure to be here. The 4 speakers are all experts in this industry, representing leaders in these industries. They are all our important partners of China Resources Group. It's a company established 83 years ago, led by the government and the party committee. We are a state-owned investment company. Our total asset managed cover has reached 2.6 trillion, and we are 572 in the Fortune 500. We have 2 portfolios. The energy sector is listed in Hong Kong. Through the transition, we expect that our total installment will reach 100 million. And in the 14th five-year plan, in 2024, we have been recognized as the top 100 in listed company as for ESG. We are one of the world's largest supplier and serving 200 million households. We provide 40 billion cubic of natural gas. We work closely with Sinopec and PetroChina. We also follow 1+1+2 structure to speed up our transition. We implement President Xi's guidelines in 4 revolution and 1 cooperation in energy sector. surrounding safeguarding energy security and transition, we made some improvement. We speed up the coal power transition. Huarun has been aiming the coordinated development of thermal power to ensure it's more flexible, to reduce its cost, and installed smart power station. In this October, in 2024, we also announced and launched the smart smart power station standard. With our research, by reducing costs and improving efficiency, we are able to save about 25 million RMB. We also promote CCUS as one of the first demonstration CCUS ultra-critical project demonstration in China. We have promoted CCUS with good results. In the meantime, leveraging our power station, we practiced carbon sequestration through green algae, to use it as animal feed for marine area. And in this way, we are able to leverage thermal power station transition as a good starting point. In the meantime, we established a base in Xinjiang, which is expected to be the first project as a joint project launched with China Energy Investment together with us, and which will be able to generate power from Xinjiang, which will be translated to Chongqing at the scale of 40 million, and at which 50% of it will be green energy. Regarding offshore energy, we have invested in a Zhejiang project, and we are going to make investment in offshore wind power in Guangdong and Zhejiang. We will create a demonstration project. In the meantime, we strengthen cooperation with upstream and lower stream partners. We work with research academic institutions and academics for innovation. Internally, we have more diverse strength. We have 26 units, 18 listed companies, and 9 in Hong Kong, 9 in mainland China. The Huarun electricity and gas sector have invested in 500 companies with good results. Our gas sector is also a green energy supplier. We provide the charging supplies in 260 charging projects in China. Through coordinated technological innovation and industrial deployment, we have made good yielding. Internationally, we are based in Hong Kong, China, and to serve domestic market, we aim to serve the social development of Hong Kong. We have our integrated energy business in Hong Kong. We also launched a new brand called Chuming-Hao, which is with the fastest charging at 1 second per kilometer, which is welcomed. In the UK, we have deployed the offshore wind project. It is in its second phase. The business return is quite promising. We also have projects in South and Southeast Asian countries, including coal and gas. We need supply in domestic and international market as well.
For the international trade in LNG, natural gas, and coal, we have made some achievements. Overall speaking, we're still following the national energy security strategy and making our own attempts and trials. Thank you. I hope that you can continue to play a leading role in this sector. Next, I would like to talk about the role of the energy leading companies, because you are at the same time shouldering responsibility of energy security, but also promoting energy transition. So how do you give full play to the role of your company to contribute to the building of new quality productivity? This is my first question. I would like to first give the floor to Mr. Li. Thank you. In accelerating the building of new energy system, Sinopec has done the following work. First, we accelerated hydrogen energy investment. In recent years, according to our 7-year action plan, every year, especially when the gas shale oil exploitation, we invested heavily. So shale oil and gas reserve production of ours has broken record. We also invested heavily in hydrogen. Now we're building in Inner Mongolia, Erdos city, a 30,000-ton green electricity to make green hydrogen project. Also in Ulanchabu, we have a 100,000-ton green hydrogen project, and we're making the plan for that project now. We also plan to transmit green hydrogen to the east, from the west to the east, to more inland cities in China, and we have passed the government's review. These are several major projects about hydrogen, about geothermal energy. Maybe next year we will have a deep geothermal energy utilization project. We will start the tangible and large-scale development and application and commercialization, which would be the first such action in China. The exploitation work is almost finished, and the next step is large-scale development. In terms of CCUS, 2 years ago, the 1 million tons of CCUS capacity was put into operation. Now we're about to build the second and the third million-level CCUS projects. We will also continue to increase investment in the R&D and the promotion of the energy conservation and emission reduction technologies, and also for the carbon footprint verification standard. We are in the process of drafting and submitting to the government for approval. We're also strengthening the management of carbon assets. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wang, please. President Xi Jinping has said that, which has served as a guidance to CNUC in building the new quality productivity. He said that new quality productivity in itself is green productivity. In implementing this concept, we mainly focused on 3 areas. First, high-end development. Second, green development. And lastly, intelligent or smart development. First, high-end. We're doing it from 3 dimensions. First, the high-end equipment. Second, the high-end technology. And lastly, the high-end products. From these 3 areas, we're building, we're elevating the level of the whole industry. In my previous remarks, I talked about the Deep Sea #1 project, which has won the National Technology Progress first prize, and that's the world's first deep sea semi-submerged drilling platform. offshore drilling platform. It's 100,000 ton level. It includes the platform as FPSO as well as the underwater pipe, several different parts, and all of those are made by us domestically. It's also a demonstration of the fulfilling of our responsibility, and also the efforts we're making to further elevating the level of equipment for the green development. We know that LNG is a traditional energy, but before it's gasified and before it enters the pipe, the energy was always lost. But now CMIC is making use of this cold power to generate electricity, to do air conditioning, and we can also use the cold water to do salmon farming. We simulate the cold water state of the deep sea. So we make use of the tools in our toolbox to make full use of the cold water energy, so as to realize low carbon, green, and zero carbon development. For intelligent development, this is also one of our focuses. The Huizhou petrochemical company has just launched their digital factory last year and was approved as a demonstrative factory by the MIT. And many of our oil production platforms have realized unmanned, remote-controlled operation and production. So I think in these three areas, we have continuously implemented the low-carbon concept. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. And now Mr. Ji. As a grid company, to build the new energy system, the state grid, many contributed to the new energy system and new grid system building to serve the high-quality development of new energy. There are several things we've done. First, we strengthened the development of the grid. Like I said before, we have built 37 ultra-high voltage transmission lines to transmit electricity from new energy, like wind and solar, from northern China, as well also from southern China, the hydropower to transmit to middle and east China to improve the electricity, the proportion of new energy in power consumption, so as to realize the green and low-carbon transition of energy. Second, we are trying our best to commercialize new energy. In the first three quarters, our trading of new energy has surpassed 50 million kilowatt-hour. I think in the future, this share will continue to increase, so as to serve this flexible and sound development of new energy. Thirdly, we're actively reporting to the NDC and the NEA our innovative moves in the green electricity trading, so as to commercialize, so as to cash in the environmental value of the new energy. Now we have traded more than 20 million kilowatt-hour of green electricity. We have more than 12,000 green certificates, and we think this move can help to promote the sustainable and sound development of new energy sector. Thank you. Now, Dr. Yang, we know that at the 3rd plenary session of the 20th CPC committee, the CPC Central Committee proposed a new strategy for new energy development. also new requirement and deployment. We think this new type of energy system should have safety, security, and flexibility and cost effectiveness, as well as green intelligence as coordination. And the CGTN Energy Group is the largest energy supplier with the most complete varieties of energy in China, also the highest coordination and integration level. So we have the condition, capability, and responsibility to promote the building of this new energy system. We've mainly done the following for work. First, in terms of energy security and low-carbon energy, as well as energy economy and technology, we are helping to build this new energy system. Second, we are giving full play to our role in ensuring energy security. Our group actually focuses on coal in ensuring energy security. The coal that we produce occupies 1/6 of the total coal consumption in China. We also use a new generation coal electricity to help ensure the power generation, and we contribute about 1/7 of power generation in the country. So we should continue to play this pillar role. Thirdly, we need to further promote green and low carbon transition of energy. By the end of this year, new energy's installed capacity is 140 million kilowatts, and the overall scale and increment is growing. And fourthly, we need to give full play to our coordination advantage to adapt to the changes in the market and contribute to the economic and social development to stabilize production. We need to be the stabilizer in the system. And fifthly, we need to continue to focus on energy S&T innovation to further reform the S&T innovation system, continue to make full and high efficient use of energy. And we have a major national project in that aspect. And this year we have issued the opinions and the work plan for building the new energy system. In the future, according to the requirement of the NEA and other departments, we will implement this action plan to contribute to building the national new energy system, to contribute our wisdom. Thank you very much. Okay, now Mr. Han. CR Group is also contributing to building the new energy system. The state has proposed the new energy system, which is green, low carbon, safe, sufficient, economic, flexible, and cost effective. I think that says a lot. Green and low carbon, according to our understanding, we need to accelerate new energy development and contribute to the realization of the dual carbon goals. In this process, thermal power, energy conservation and emission reduction, CCUS, technology application is quite important. Just now, EA and CNOOC and CNPC, CNOPEC all said that primary energy is really important. It's an important support for secondary energy. So for CR Group, we'll also try to contribute our power in providing primary energy. And we will also advance the further use of natural gas, the supply of natural gas from coal and from petrol. Now we see that in China, the overall power installed capacity is 3.1 billion kilowatts. Only relying on renewable energy, we cannot ensure energy security. So in the future, the clean and efficient coal and natural gas will be important transitional energy. And so we have important responsibility and a role to play to guarantee the energy supply. And the grid also plays a very important role. As a grid company, we need to work with the state grid to help them balance supply and demand, also adapt and renovate the grid according to the demand. So as to help build the new energy system, we also need to strengthen S&T innovation with the new quality productivity in high-end equipment and the intelligent management platform. We need to serve the system.
In order to ensure the new energy structure will be established and serve China's strategy. Thank you very much. Speaking of the dual carbon strategy, I'd like to respond to a theme, which is supply chain. How do we upgrade, optimize the supply chain, make it more competitive, which is also core to our dual carbon goal? And what's your take on this? Mr. Li, please. In terms of clean energy, we should strengthen science-tech innovation. This is the most important area. We also invested a lot in this. We have made overall and comprehensive deployment. I focus on 2 points. First is hydrogen innovation. We have established Hydrogen Innovation Consortium together with the National Energy, China Energy. We have organized over a dozen of higher institutions and industries together to make breakthroughs in our research, covering the whole industrial chain, from the production to application. We have seen good results in the recent years. The electrolyte groove, from the very beginning, there are only a few providers. Now we can see over 100 electrolyzers. The cost of electrolyzer, comparing to 2020, we have reduced the cost by half. The reduction rate is quite high, and hydrogen cell and the cost of electric stack also being reduced. Joint innovation, science-tech advancement is making good result. This is good for clean energy supply. Second is biomass. Biomass or biomass material or resources. I have 2 keywords to share with you. First is biomass gasification. Large-scale biomass gasification technology has been proven in the late stage. We are likely to make technological breakthrough. SAF, sustainable jet fuel. We are able to have 100,000 ton capacity industrial equipment. If a Boeing is flying from China to the US, they will all use our SAF. So that's the point from biomass. We take biomass as our main source for biomass, such as waste oil. In the future, we will try to turn carbon dioxide to SAF. We will invest in all areas to support high-quality clean energy. Thank you very much for your sharing. Hydrogen Consortium and the new energy. And I will continue on this point regarding dual carbon strategy and its practice. CNOOC focus on clean, highly efficient, low carbon industrial chain and supply chain. The first achievement I'd like to share with you is traditional energy and the new energy is integrated. On May the 20th last year, Guanlan Hao, the Sinop's offshore wind structure, has reached 7 megawatt and connected to Wenchang electricity grid. We used a deserted oil well, and we installed the offshore wind power system onto this oil well, this obsolete oil well, which is a great combination of old facility and new technology. Second point is carbon reduction and energy saving. Since 14th Five-Year Plan implemented, we have accomplished 100 projects in this regard. I'd like to highlight one of them. There's low temperature heat. A comprehensive utilization of low temperature heat. This is the largest one in this industry. Also, the largest scale of industrialization of such a low temperature heat utilization. As for green transition, there's one project I'd like to highlight. Is a distributed energy station in Nanjing's airport. With our LNG and photovoltaic and refined oil, we connect with the AC, heat supply and electricity generation. With the principle of an integrated distributed energy system. With such a practice, we gradually explore Sinop's dual carbon strategy model and expand our dual carbon industry. Thank you very much for your sharing of the integrated energy projects. And over to you, Mr. Qi. The state grid focus on low-carbon innovative development. With our low-carbon technology, we intelligent and digitalize them and applied to the supply chain. We have invested in and developed a green, intelligent power grid. On one hand, from the planning, green manufacturing, green logistics, green dispatching, 9 stages. Altogether, we aim to ensure the green, low-carbon, high-quality development in our supply chain. Second, we successfully utilized our digital and intelligent system, created a 5-in-1 new model, which allows us to procure and settle payment as well as deployment and logistics service all online, on cloud. With one platform, all of our business are able to be conducted online, make it more efficient for our partners. Statistics shows that we save paper and business trips reached 200,000 tons of carbon footprint and saved a cost of $4 billion for our partners. You might wonder it's such a big number, but but actually it's true. And in our tender bidding and procurement procedure, we added the low carbon element. Every year, there are over 1 trillion procurement requirement. Through such a scale of procurement, we lead a large-scale market to ensure green transition with our partners. Thank you very much, Mr. Ji. And over to you, Mr. Yang. We will continue to promote carbon neutrality and provide a new model for green transition. There are 4 points. First is we will strengthen 2 points and upgrade 2 points. First, we will unswervingly to ensure the high utilization of coal and use renewable energy to replace traditional energy, to strengthen the supply chain of clean energy. We will also focus on making key technology innovation, ensure our capacity in the new technology innovation as well as its application and commercialization. In the meantime, we will leverage our advantages in gasification of thermal power and coal, upgrade clean energy, flexibility and resilience, and speed up our digitalization. Fully use the megawatt intelligent platform. Make the clean energy more intelligent. Last but not least, we are happy and we are open to work with all parties to make our contribution in the new energy and zero carbon transition. And over to you, Mr. Wang. We aim to create green and coordinated industrial chain. Our suppliers are over 100,000, and we procure a value of 750 billion. Same for the 2 portfolios of our business. I believe in this course, coordinated development is very important. For example, like PetroChina and CNOOC and Sinopec are very important supplier for us. We procure natural gas from these main suppliers. They have given us strong support. We signed a long-term 10-year cooperation program with PetroChina. We are close strategic partners. As for coal, we procure energy supply from the China Resource Group, from the China Energy, and going forward, we will fully tap into the strength of China's policy as well as our partnership and strengthen our coordinated efforts so that we could better explore and deepen our cooperation, solidify our cooperation. We will also be more market-oriented. As a Hong Kong-listed company, a Hong Kong-based company, we should play our role as the bridge between China and the overseas market. In terms of science-tech innovation, we will strengthen cooperation with the R&D institutions and academics to establish a new platform for key and projects, including photovoltaic offshore system and offshore wind power, as well as biomass. We have been working with a German company
Now in biomass dry straw fermentation, we have made some breakthrough, and through the biomass methanol and green electricity to green hydrogen industrial chain, we think we will make more contributions to the industry's development and realize better transition. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners. I hope that in the future we can further strengthen our cooperation and coordination and to contribute to the green and low carbon transition. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Now you can go back to your seats. So this is the end for this roundtable. Thank you for participating. Next, let's move on to the next session. Let's welcome to the stage the moderator of this session, Executive Vice President of the WBCSD, Dominic Walgreen. Welcome.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a delight and honor to be here and to be one of the co-organizers of the important session on the thematic event on clean energy, advancing the energy transition for zero carbon prosperity. We have a pretty amazing panel of 6 speakers to talk about this key issue about decarbonizing and creating clean global supply chains. We heard a lot about innovation just now, and we've heard a lot about how important clean global supply chains are. In the opening plenary yesterday, for example, we've heard that at least 70% of greenhouse gas emissions are in these global value chains. So if we're going to decarbonize, we have to decarbonize global value chains. And we also heard that without Chinese green technology and innovations deployed across these global supply chains, without that innovation and technology, costs would rise about 20%. So it's critical that we clean these global supply chains, and it's critical that Chinese innovation and technology plays a role in cleaning those supply chains. And it's on that basis that I'm delighted to welcome up our panel. So first of all, please welcome Lun Guangfao, who is the rotating president of Chint Group, followed by Tetsuru Homa, who is the global vice president of Panasonic Holdings Corporation, then Xue Xie, who is the president of Zhongjian Science and Technology Group, then William Yu, who's the president of Honeywell China, then Manuel Menendez, who's the founder and CEO of MCM Holding Group, and then Xi Jintian, who's the chairman of Dalian Bingshan Group. So, gentlemen, if you'd like to come up and join the panel discussion. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us in this important discussion. We've heard a lot earlier about some of the innovations and such, but it'd be very good to get into some of your reflections and thoughts on how we actually do this in terms of cleaning these global supply chains and what your thoughts and recommendations are to this esteemed audience. So with no further ado, if I can turn to you, Lun Guangfao, you're the rotating president of Chint Group, but you're also a professorate senior engineer in research and industrial automation on the Internet of Things. So you're a global leader in smart energy solutions, and you're actively involved in both upstream and downstream integration of the clean energy industry chain. So how did Chint ensure sustainable practices to reduce emissions within supply chains? Sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Walgrey.
正泰呢
Chint
是一个全球智慧能
Group
源
is a world smart energy solution provider.
40年来的
In
发展，
the past 40 years, we have always adhered to green and low carbon high quality development
全球
and grasp the opportunity of the global energy transition to build
我们正泰集团在新能源和智能电气
Our
这个领域里面，从发
role,
电
our advantage in new energy and also energy generation, transmission, consumption, the whole industrial chain ecosystem. In new energy, green energy investment,
全球的光伏电站，我们已经建
for
设了
example, we have built more than 700 PV power stations. Of course, far less than those of the big SOEs in the last roundtable. But among the private enterprises, I think we are playing a leading role. We have built more than 700 PV power stations, more than 50 gigawatt power stations. And we are also the distributed PV, the largest distributed PV project construction provider. We have built
也是有26个吉瓦的这样的一个规模。
more than 26 gigawatt
绿色能源在美丽乡村建设，为
of
中国的
PV,
乡村
contributing
农
to
村
the
这个
green
绿色地产的发展。
countryside development and low carbon development of the countryside in China. Chint, as a new energy industry equipment maker, also an investor in the energy power stations, how to further reduce our carbon emission in our industrial chain. On the one hand,
作为一个行业的头部企业，
as an industry
我
leader,
们从自身开始，
we started from
在我们的
ourselves
所有的产业
in
园
our
区，
own industrial parks.
智慧分布式微电网
We
建设
have
这样一个商业逻
built
辑，
the
通
smart
过光储存、
micro
联网合作、
distributed power
光储
grid
存一体化。
to integrate
冷热
the
协同，
PV
刚才其大家提到讲的，因为这
storage
些应用
and
场景包括
charging.
技术创新储备，我们都在进行这样的一些
We are
探索。
innovating these kind of technologies to
第三
further
个呢，
reduce
全程能效
carbon
管控的一
emission.
体化，在着
Second,
力打造
the
一个
management
零碳或者低
of
碳
the
的
emission process. We are trying to build a zero carbon
新能源产业的
industrial park.
27个工厂。
In the 27 factories of ours, we're gradually promoting our pilot project and to also apply it in our supply chain. To give you some example, in Haining, State of Zhejiang Province, we have an industrial park with more than 20 gigawatt of component and battery production facility. In this park, we have PV, solar, and energy storage, and also we manufacture hydrogen through green electricity. We consume the hydrogen right there at the scene, and also we realized a supply of different sources of energy during summertime. We can use the cold water energy for AC. So it's both an energy storage project, but also a very good scenario for energy consumption reduction. Through these efforts, we have won the NEA's award. Our demonstration industrial park has been awarded as a national demonstration project for smart and low carbon industrial park, and we are quickly replicating this example to other factories of ours. We hope to extend to apply it in our industrial chain, in our supply chain. Second, we also need to further reduce the carbon emission of our supply chain. As a green energy equipment making enterprise, we are trying very hard to build a zero carbon factory, and we have made standards for the carbon emission reduction in our factories. First, we have, because we think this standard is really important, we also have to align our philosophy, our investment and measures in green energy. We have this assessment system to help us select suppliers. We also have established a system. Just now, the leader from State Grid said that CNOOC, CNPC, Sinopec are all our clients. We also have more than 1,000 suppliers, partners cooperating with us on the supply chain. So we set up standards for them, requiring them to meet the same standards as we do to further meet the clients of the requirements of our clients, such as Sinopec, CNPC, CNOOC, etc., thus contributing to the dual carbon goals of the country. Thirdly, as a new energy, one of the new energy industry leaders, we disseminate our good practice, also share our expertise in the supply chain so that they can reach our level as soon as possible. And for example, we provide a data central control platform for the SMEs so as to help them keep up. Fourthly, we have built a carbon exchange or trading and management platform to more efficiently and use energy and calculate carbon footprint of each link in the supply chain. We are one of the first enterprises to participate in carbon trading in China. So through these efforts, and also through the energy efficiency management, our products can have more competitiveness in the world market. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Mr. Guangfu, and thank you so much for that overview. And it was fascinating that not only were there some technical innovations, for example, in microgrids and storage, but also the collaboration along the supply chain, which you identified, working with suppliers, creating standards, and carbon markets and carbon signals, carbon pricing. We heard earlier about the need to make sure that these standards are interoperable internationally, so that becomes a very interesting dimension, I'm sure, in how you're greening supply chains. Thank you for that. Hama-san, if I can turn to you, sir. You're the Global Vice President of Panasonic Holdings Corporation. Everybody knows internationally Panasonic's brand, promoting the development of global clean energy supply chains. You're also the president of Japan's Chamber of Commerce and Industry here in China, so you can represent many Japanese businesses as well as Panasonic. And I understand you're an honorary professor at Dalian University of Technology as well. So you're very, very well positioned to offer some thoughts on how Panasonic maintains its market advantage and reduces emissions in its supply chains, particularly through innovations. Sir, over to you.
谢谢卢明さん。今天非常高兴能够
Thank you very much. It's my great pleasure to attend this panel discussion. Panasonic is a time-honored brand. It's based in Japan. It's a multinational company. Our Chinese business started in 1987. Back then, Deng Xiaoping visited Japan and met with the founder of Panasonic, Mr. Panasonic. And we thus started our Chinese business. Now, our Chinese business occupies 23% of our global business. We have 50,000 employees, 10,000 R&D personnel. We have in total 64 legal entities legal persons in China. Our goal is to make contributions to the solution of social problems. After the reform and opening up, China faced the problem of the modernization of manufacturing industry and some economic issues. Now China has made lots of progress. Chinese people is leading a better life, but at the same time we're facing the energy crisis, climate change, as well as other global issues and problems. Panasonic in China is contributing to the mobile, the green mobility and green manufacturing. Our slogan has shown our commitment to making contribution to China's reform and development.
持续支持中国消费者的愿望。关于全球变暖这一紧迫问题，全球每年都发生许多灾害。科学上认为，人类的二氧化碳的排放与全球变暖存在因果关系。关于与防治全球变暖直接相关的清洁能源，根据国际能源机构的报告，2050年实现净零排放，现有技术可实现50%，48%依赖于少不存在的技术，2%依赖于人们行为的改变。尚不存在的技术则创新是可不少，也必不可少的，因此加速创新是我们动力所在。松下致力于社会的电气化、能效提升和可再生能源解决方案，以推动清洁能源的过渡。例如，在中国推进的新能源车用的包括动力电池的各种各样的零部件、家庭电话的热泵技术，在办公室和家庭等空间减少二氧化碳的综合一个空调、新风的系统等等。
In the new air system, we believe we should not just focus on new energy, but also integrate it with aging society. We also showcase our products here at this expo and aiming to extend the longevity and to support the senior society economy. We will speed up innovation and decarbonization. Only relying on our enterprises and corporations is not enough. As we know, governments around the world are speeding up electrical mobilization as well as new energy, not just relies on the automobile manufacturer, but also key parts support in the power chain. Panasonic believes that evaluating enterprises' activity should not just include the supply chain in their own business, but also include other products and reduction contribution. In English, it's avoid emission, which means in areas without new technologies and the new technology coverage, the difference between the two, and the spread between which, in conditions without new technologies, we should also help to reduce emission. It's an indicator to cultivate new technology companies. In order to speed up decarbonization and increase awareness of decarbonization, we work with the World Sustainable Business Council for Sustainable Development and enable to establish a standard. We hope that before June next year, we will publish the new standards, which will be integrated into the decision-making process and the policy-making process to lend impetus to the building of a more sustainable green supply chain.
Super interesting, because again, you illustrated some of the technological innovations that Panasonic has, but then we moved on to cooperation and collaboration on the global supply chain and the accounting issue, and particularly intervention accounting, to try and illustrate if one changes products and supplies and business models, there will be a degree of emissions avoided in the future, which one can account for to stimulate innovation and investment, I think, into the clean supply chain. So thank you for that. Okay, let's move on to Xu Weiqie, who is the president of Zhongtian Science and Technology Group. Zhongtian Science and Technology Group is a national high-technology enterprise covering new energy, marine, power grid communications, and such like. Jueshi is also an esteemed business leader from Jiangsu province and an executive committee member of the All China Federation of Industry and Commerce. So thank you for joining us, and we'd be very interested in your take on how we build robust and sustainable clean energy supply chains. Sir.
好的，
Thank you very much for your introduction, and I'd like to thank such a great platform of our expo. On behalf of Zhongtian Technology, I'd like to share with you our practice in clean energy and the plan for future. First of all, as for green and low carbon, has been the trend global-wise. It is also a discussion that should be conducted for every company. A few years ago, in the previous years, we have made a few rounds of discussions and finalized that green and low carbon development and becoming a leader in dual carbon course, green technological leader will become a core element of our corporate culture and our guiding principles for future. After 3 years of development, with the support of leaders at all levels, we have become the first in this industry that launched an action plan for low-carbon green development. We are recognized as a green supply chain and 2 zero-carbon factory, 3 national-level green factory. Taking it as a leverage, we plan in the next 5 years we will create our 2 carbon-neutralized industrial parks and 20 carbon-neutralized factory. In addition, we aim to serve better with the world's clean energy regarding hydrogen and photovoltaic and energy storage. We will leverage our advantages. For photovoltaic, we are one of the first to establish the 18 demonstration photovoltaic projects. We invested in the operation, transition, transmission, and maintenance, and established a whole holistic system. We also engaged in photovoltaic and agricultural complementary projects and offshore photovoltaic projects. In 2023, we were recognized by MIIT, the champion of energy storage project. This is our 7th award. After 12 years of development from one single product supplier, now we have become a gigawatt level EPC energy storage capacity. Years ago, we are able to provide energy storage for mid-term. Now we are able to provide short, mid, and long-term storage, as well as R&D and manufacturing and maintenance capacity. In terms of hydrogen, we have experience in production. We work with the Guohua and National Energy. Together, we established a hydrogen equipment-based and hydrogen production-focused equipment supplier provider. This is a few of the products and projects we engaged in clean energy. We will uphold sustainable development and support systematic clean energy development and embrace new technology and new reform and new revolution to make our contribution to global cause for green energy and energy transition.
Thank you so much. And it was fascinating to hear about the level of innovation that you're deploying into those global supply chains. Let's turn to William Yu, who is the president of Honeywell China. Many of you will know Honeywell is a global brand, a diversified high-tech enterprise. It plays a key role in building sustainable, clean energy supply chains. Mr. Yu, you're responsible for driving Honeywell's growth right across China. So that's a pretty exciting role that you have with all of the innovations that you can bring to bear. So in that context, how do you integrate your technological strengths in areas like automation control, intelligent manufacturing, to help the clean energy industry transform? And perhaps building on what you've heard so far in the panel, I'm sure it's given you some thoughts about how Honeywell is helping to transform clean energy supply chains in China and internationally. Sir.
Thank you for great questions. Honeywell
is a company has been listed for over 100 years with high tech. In the recent years, we focus on 3 trends globally. First is automation, second is future astrology, and energy transition. For low-carbon green supply chain sustainable development is the key for our global development. We have 20,000 R&D engineers. When they develop new solutions, new products, and new services, 60% of it is related to sustainable development. We focus on 2 areas to find new challenges and questions faced by companies and clients. First is from the whole value chain of supply chain, to identify what contribution we can make. I take 2 examples. First is the wind, solar, and new energy development are rapid in the past few years, and that led rapid development in energy storage industry. My colleagues here already mentioned about. Energy storage has its advantages, but one challenge is that it will become hotter. So when it gets hotter, something we don't expect would happen. So by seeing this, Honeywell utilized technologies we have and technologies we're developing. We're exploring how we can use our excellent sensor system to identify 10 minutes or 5 minutes in advance, or even 15 minutes in advance, to send an alarm before something happens. That is what we call heat management. Second is, what if it really loses out control? Another application of our product is fire control, be it in hotels, airports. How do we integrate the firefighting system with heat management? Another product advantage is automation. How do we connect all of these energy storage facilities to ensure they are safely and secure, operated in a secured way? The second point I'd like to highlight is buildings. Based on statistics from different sources, buildings consume 20% of total energy consumption in the world. Another data says 40%, or other data says 20%. We identified this opportunity, especially after 40 years of reform and development in China. You see lots of high-rises across China, but due to different reasons, they're not energy saving, they're not environment friendly. This is the opportunity we identify without interfering comfortableness and accessibility. How do we simulate the environment and ensure the existing building can reduce energy consumption by 15%, 20%, or 10%? That is how we identify opportunities in the whole value chain, supply chain. The second point I'd like to highlight is that we believe supply chain is a value chain. As said by other speakers, they all mentioned CCUS.
And Honeywell also have this technology, CCUS technology. According to rough estimation, now the EU CCUS actual carbon captured, 25% used our technology, because our technology has lower carbon consumption, about 30 to 40% lower than our competitors' technologies. And if it's white film, white smoke, we can recycle it all the way to more than 95%. And more importantly, many companies have set up this equipment, carbon capture equipment, but they don't actually use it because it's really expensive, and they don't know where to store. If it's an oil field, you can just sequestrate it in the underground. But if you don't have this oil field, what do you do? That's why that's a common problem many enterprises with this technology, with this equipment faces. So the key is to not only have the technology, but more importantly, we have to make full use of the carbon that we capture. We see that in recent years, China's new energy sector is developing fast, and the cost has been lowered dramatically. So we're cooperating with the SOEs to manufacture, to make the green electricity into green hydrogen. And with the green hydrogen and captured carbon, we make it into green methanol. It can be used in automobiles and ships, but it's not economical enough yet. We provide technology, key equipment, catalyst, and control system to make it the sustainable shipping coal. So by doing so, sulfur is really expensive. Also quite expensive in Europe. And so this is what we're doing right now. How we're creating this so-called new quality productivity. And we also see that now in China there are many manufacturing enterprises, so they need the help of our digital technology. We have more than 100 years of history in the process technology. We also have the HOS, our main weapon. We can combine these two things together so that our clients, the enterprises, can lower the energy consumption, improve the output, and realize more cost effectiveness. There are many enterprises in China using our digital technology together with our management system. After 1 year of use, they will yield 5 times or even 10 times of investment return. So this is the social, environmental benefit that we're trying to achieve, but also the economic benefit or effect we're trying to achieve. We're not only helping others, but also we ourselves is implementing the green and low carbon development. Our sales revenue in China, most of this revenue comes from the grain factories. So when we are helping others, we also need to implement green and low carbon development concept.
Thank you, Mr. Yu. There were many interesting points in what you said. Thank you for bringing in resilience to supply chains, first of all, and secondly, on the built environment, both the embedded emissions and the operational emissions in the stock, and then thirdly, on capturing carbon and how that can itself become a value chain for captured carbon in terms of its use. And I think you were imputing there the need for a price signal as well, which came back to one of our earlier comments there about carbon markets and such. So thank you for that. If I could turn to our next panelist, please. So Manuel Menendez, you're the founder and CEO of MCM Holding Group, which specializes in planning and design. You've also been around the block a little bit in terms of building businesses and in the region and elsewhere in the world. So your experience, I think, is invaluable in terms of what you've seen in terms of innovation and transformations. You've been an advisor to UNEP in the UN and many other things. So, you know, you're hearing, I think, in terms of clean supply chains, both technology, innovation, markets, transformation. What would be your feedback and insights to this panel and to the room on cleaning these global energy supply chains?
Well, first of all, before I start, I want to thank China for following the Confucius philosophy of when people come from afar, you should welcome them and be happy. So China's always been open, and China's always welcomed people coming from afar like myself. I've been working in China since the opening, since 1979. And was responsible for putting the first United States-China joint venture together in 1980 by building a food factory in Canton, now known as Guangzhou. I think working and investing in China has been enlightening, and what China has been able to do in the last 44 years is not good, it's not great, it's a miracle. It's a miracle because of the scale of the development and how it's helped so many people, not only in China, but lift up the economies in the surrounding area and around the world. It's a very important contribution. I think today's one of the most important things, so I'm going to stay more philosophical because we have very distinguished operators of business here, but I think philosophy is very, very important. The most important thing we're doing now, and we need to continue to do, is to have face-to-face meetings so that we can have better understanding and seek common ground so that we can all work together. The number one and the number two carbon emitters in the world are US and China, and they have to work together in order to have these solutions. The technologies are there, the know-how is there, the ability is there. We have to have the will to continue to do it. And I think one of the things that has not been discussed that I'd like to raise is instead of thinking about how to block innovation and how to block the deployment of clean energy technologies, which China is by far the leader if you look at all the categories and all the matrix, we have to look at how to deploy that through incentives, not tariffs. We have to look at incentives in order to bring this technology to the rest of the world. And I think we can do that. We have a lot of smart people in our countries, and we need to work at getting rid of barriers, especially in this category of clean energy, because our greater responsibility is to our children and to our grandchildren and to our future generations to make sure that we have a planet that is livable for future. Now, we are enjoying the future, we're enjoying the economies of today, but we need to make sure that we do a great job at pushing these technologies forward without barriers. So I'll stay with that. I know that we're limited on time, so we'll end on, I'm focused right now on investments and deployment of hydrogen, both green hydrogen, and there's a new type of hydrogen that I'm introducing, that I'm an investment in, which is a technology where you get both hydrogen and carbon black, with no carbon emissions, no need for CCUS or anything. And the second is in photovoltaics. Those two areas I'm investing and trying to deploy that technology around the world. So thank you.
No, thank you, Mr. Menendez, and well said. And introducing the element of cooperation and collective interaction across global supply chains, particularly between key economies, was very well mentioned. A little bit of a warning for our panel before I come to our final speaker. I'm going to come back to you all because it all sounds like it's all perfectly doable. We have technology, we have skills, we have financing. And what I'm going to ask each of you, once we've heard from our final speaker, is what is the biggest opportunity and the biggest roadblock that you can see? So I'm just giving you a heads up, just a quick answer, because that would be very interesting. And while you're thinking about that, I'll turn to our final speaker, the distinguished CGTN, who's a chairman of Dalian Bingshang Group. Dalian Bingshang Group has a strong track record in the clean cold chain industry, so a dimension that we haven't heard about yet. You're an esteemed leader, sir, in new industry and advanced manufacturing, and you've cultivated, I understand, over 21 high-tech enterprises, so your insights would be very, very welcomed here in terms of how you sense and how your company is advancing clean energy in these supply chains. Sir.
Thank you. 谢谢主持人，谢谢大家啊。今天参加这个
I'm here to attend this panel discussion at the CSSCE to focus on energy transition. Just now I listened to the previous speaker's remarks. I think we're all in the chain, and the solutions that you talked about, the energy transition cases that you shared, are all quite inspiring. For us, we focus on the cooling and heating in the chain. For many years, we have just focused on these two areas, and also following this technology route, especially the industrial heating and cooling and commercial refrigeration, freezing, as well as industrial self-control and connection. This is a business portfolio and how we serve the whole supply chain. In recent years, in terms of clean energy and energy transition, we have made two things. We have the two things. First, we invested in some demonstration projects using our own patented technologies. These demonstration projects, for example, one of them is the industrial park, about 350,000 square meters. We are investing in the zero carbon, net zero technology. First, we're also trying to conserve and reduce energy consumption in the industrial chain, in this industrial park, in different links of the production and people's life. Second, we're using the residue heat, recycling the residue heat and pressure, and we have achieved with success. And thirdly, we're using geothermal and PV, only certain amount of PV, because we think too much is also a waste, because we have to think about the consumption or the integration level of the PV power. So we have to make the whole system smarter. This is how we make sure that the energy that we produce and consume can reach a balance. This is one demonstration project. Second, we're also investing in the cross-critical CO2 technology to invest in an ice-making factory. Now we have realized a 5-in-1 application. In 1 year, we can save up to 60% of energy. This is how we were able to save and reduce the overall operation cost. Energy transition and clean energy are important not only for the environmental purpose, but also for the economic purpose. And also, this is how we can make our business more sustainable. That's the significance of our demonstration projects. Second, we're also using our cooling and heating technologies together with our clients. We're making all kinds of efforts. For example, I'll give you two examples. For example, the heat pump, the application in the heat pump, we focus on a specialized small area. For example, in industry, we use the residue gas and heat and pressure to generate power. For the commercial heat pump, we focus on the application of heat pump in the low temperature environment, because we know that in a normal temperature, the heat pump efficiency is quite high. no matter what is, but in a low environment temperature, the efficiency will be reduced, especially in northern China. Heating is a big issue during winter time, so we want to further increase the POP value to make it more environmentally friendly. This is a direction we're working towards. In addition, you all talked about CCUS. We have several CCUS demonstration projects as well. For example, the 100,000 tons of CO2 power generations, waste, gas, and smoke. We recycle it to make it to use it for the productive wielding of the ship. We can also use it for carbonation in drinks. Also on ships, not only on land, we just did the OCCS project. Now we have ships that burn two different kinds of fuels.
You have to reduce speed and capture carbon dioxide. The first vessel, we compress it and liquidate it, compress it and rescue it. We're able to extend the lifetime of that vessel for 12 years, which was reported by CCTV. It says we could save $8 million. By doing so, we believe that application of energy transition is not just for the sake of transition. We need to bring economic return and make it commercialized, so that will be more meaningful.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for that. You introduced elements of circularity, I think is a phrase that one would closing the loop, if you like, in terms of waste and inputs into supply chains. And also, in terms of looking at end-to-end, including the ships and such like. So very interesting. Okay, so I warned you. A quick answer. What would you say is the biggest opportunity and the biggest obstacle or roadblock to overcome if we want to really accelerate the cleaning of these global energy supply chains? So quick answer, but it'd be very interesting, I think, for the audience. So first of all, sir.
谢谢。好，我们尽快回答一句话啊，就刚才各位这个领导，包括上一轮的这个央企、国企的领导讲到这个新能源的这个能源转型、全球化的这个发展，我觉得这个也是对我们企业是非常大好的。
This is rather promising for us. How do we harness these opportunities and to solve the pain point in the rapid development, especially for photovoltaic? And we are deploying our business for future. For example, such as green hydrogen, non-fossil fuel for jet fuel. And the efficiency is a bit slow, and the supply chain, industrial chain hasn't been formed, but the leading companies and the state-owned companies are all deploying in this area. And second, new energy will replace a larger proportion of primary energy, and more vehicles will be electrified. We are working on the solid battery with new materials and make it more applicable for new scenario like CVD and the new technologies. For solid batteries, positive electrolyte for the positive electrode. So in this way, we could make the new energy more safe and secured and for sustainable development. Thank you.
Interesting. So lots of technology innovations, reasonably quick, but not super quick, I'd say. Homer-san.
Yeah. Thank you. Our
long-term vision is green goal and development. Our goal is to reduce 1% of total carbon emission in the world, and In actual terms, it's by 2050 in zero carbon, we will reduce 110 million million tons of emission, and with our products and services to reduce 200 million tons of emission for our clients. Such a reduction is our biggest opportunity. In China, there's mobility and intelligent manufacturing. These four portfolios. I'll give you an example. In health, and we integrated heating and AC and new air system. We ensure that 85% of energy will be reduced, which is aligned with China's goal of ultra-low energy consumption. Along with other partners, we also concluded a project in Dalian. We will put powertrain battery in mass production. We have 18 facilities in China. We provide contribution to new energy vehicles. We have high robotics for welding with high market penetration, and we aim to support China's new energy vehicle and help to lend impetus to electrification and low carbon emission. This will be our contribution to China's mission of sustainable development.
So again, that you've gone for an innovation thing. I suspect as well from our first two speakers, elements around carbon pricing and carbon accounting are important. You mentioned about intervention accounting and avoided emissions. Cui-Chie, what would you say is the kind of biggest obstacle to overcome to really scale up decarbonization in energy supply chains in your experience?
Just in one line, the current supply chain, the biggest clean energy faced or pain point is it requires all companies to roll out wind, solar, storage, and hydrogen innovation and its application, and continue to reduce our reliance on traditional source of energy and reduce carbon emission, make our contribution.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
This is really, you zeroed in exactly on the kind of the shift that's required. Mr. Yu, perhaps very briefly as well, you might kind of pinpoint what you see as the biggest obstacle to overcome to release all of the innovations that you were describing so eloquently earlier.
Sure, I try to be more positive, okay? So to say the three biggest opportunities,
I remain positive. There are three opportunities. First is the biggest market of green and low carbon is not elsewhere, it's in China, because China's manufacturing is leading the world. China's buildings account for the largest amount in the world. How do we save energy on manufacturing and building is the biggest opportunity. Second, how to turn these opportunities into business opportunity. It requires lower stream and upstream suppliers and customers together to be integrated, so that the supply chain is need to be connected, aligned. The last opportunity is we need government, Chinese government, and all competent departments to provide legal guarantee and support to facilitate upgrade and optimization of technologies and equipment.
Stock, the collaboration upstream and downstream, and kind of policy support, maybe with a demand pull signal as well, I imagine, underneath that. Mr. Menendez, your thoughts on what you see as an opportunity or an obstacle to overcome to speed up this transition?
I think the previous speakers nailed the opportunity side. I think the obstacle side is how we provide incentives, both incentives, tax incentives, and also financial incentives to help the companies transition. Some companies' financial positions are different, and I think if we have a platform where we really incentivize the companies and provide proper financing, we can implement the knowledge, the technology, and the know-how we have that exists that can change this equation.
Very clear, and I can see pretty much all the panel nodding at that comment. So, Mr. CGTN, the last word is yours. The biggest opportunity or the biggest obstacle you think we need to overcome to transform these clean energy supply chains?
Okay.
Energy transition itself is a big opportunity because upstream and lower stream need to work together. Once it happens, we will create opportunities. Just like this expo, the production and the chemical production of coal, all of these technologies can be integrated. I believe when technology application in the future is one end, and upgrade or replacement of old products is a question, is an opportunity. And how to, 非常棒.
Collaboration across the supply chain came very clearly, which is why this expo is so valuable. Join me in thanking our wonderful panel. Thank you very much, everyone, for a great contribution. If you can go back to your seats now, thank you so much. Okay, so that takes us towards the end of this session. Very, very stimulating discussion. But I'm delighted to say, to help kind of close us out, we're going to be looking at some best practices for promoting supply chain decarbonization. There's a number of great examples which Wang Xin, who's the president of China Entry, Exit, Inspection and Quarantine Association, will just run us through. Wang Xin, please do join us on the podium, and I think the screen will come up for you to refer to a few great examples. Thank you so much.
尊敬的各位领导、各位来宾，很荣幸在这里与大家分享全球能源转型和供应链脱碳的报告成果。面对日益严峻的气候变化挑战，我们急需采取应对措施。今天分享的这些报告凝聚了全球的智慧，展示了不同行业的最佳实践。因为时间关系，我就在这里简单的把这几个报告介绍一下。首先，实现净零排放供应链脱碳激励措施的报告，由世界可持续发展工商理事会 WB、CSBD 与普华永道联合编制。该报告深刻剖析了实现净零排放的策略，提出了一系列的激励措施，旨在推动供应商实现脱碳措施，促进知识共享，以支持供应链脱碳的实施。本报告汇聚了来自宝马、
It has gathered examples from BMW, Microsoft, and Shell to support companies to ensure decarbonization in their supply chain. Now, WCSB and Zero Carbon organization made a joint announcement of their report, which is pertaining to greenhouse emission reduction and a full structure for greenhouse reduction. It has set 3 conditions and shows a compliance with climate action and made guidance on the actual practice. It also said that procedures to reduce carbon and greenhouse gases and stressed on the disclosure as well as China's low carbon practices. Third is the report released by World Energy Transition Outlook 2024. It evaluated the progress and the short slabs.
And clarifies the key technology development areas by 2030, as well as 3 main points. First, build key infrastructure. Second, promote policy and regulation system improvement. Third, strategically improving the capacity. The report calls on G20 countries to increase their NDC to realize the global renewable energy installed capacities goal to increase by 3 times. Fourth report is a report recently released at the COP29 and China Energy Transition Outlook 2024. According to estimation, China's energy consumption will peak in 2030 and in 2050 be reduced by 20%. We estimate that by 2050, the installed capacity of renewable energy will increase by 5 times. In terms of emission reduction, China's emission is expected to peak by 2026, and in 2040, it will be reduced by 30%. These goals are to ensure China's long-term energy security and sustainable development and contribute to the global climate action. The release of this report has given the policymakers, investors, and stakeholders from home and abroad an important reference and insight. So these reports all emphasized the supply chain decarbonization, how it is an important goal for the global net zero emission. It not only provided a roadmap, but also emphasized the role of global cooperation in promoting energy transition and addressing climate change. So I call on more enterprises and organizations to join hands together by adopting stimulus incentives and scientific innovation to contribute to realizing the net zero goal. The Association of China Entry-Exit Inspection and Quarantine is a national organization led by the Ministry of Civil Affairs. We play an important role of a bridge to ensure the health and the safety of entry and exit personnel, and improve the quality of the product and serve the Chinese economy. We are very honored to be a close partner of the WBCSD to share the report. We also wish to cooperate with WBCSD to unite with more industries in the society and contribute to the decarbonization of the world industrial supply chain. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, friends, so this is the end for the thematic event on clean energy of the second CISCE. Today's event, we looked at energy transition from different perspectives, and we discussed low carbon and net carbon, as well as green and sustainable development. As listeners and observers, we feel quite inspired. And as the organizer of the event, we would like to thank the ICBC and PICC, Bank of Communications, and the Wu Liangye Group for their sponsorship towards the CSCE and for this thematic event. The second CSCE thematic event on clean energy has come to an end. Thank you.